Hi everybody, it's Laura again. It's St. Patrick's Day today, and I figured I might as well dress all in green for a Irish movie. So basically today I'm going to be doing Valentine's. Well, let's start at the beginning. Chinese New Year, that started on January 25th, and it's something I like to observe just because I think it's fun. I think because most of the Irish movies I've watched have Cillian Murphy in them, I'll just go ahead and review The Wind That Shakes the Barley from 2006. Um, this is a beautiful, beautiful, sad, difficult movie about the Irish struggling for independence from the British Empire and all the brutality that they suffer. There's some very intense, disturbing scenes in it, including torture. Just beautiful, naturalistic acting. Now, Ken Loach is the director, and he has a unique style all of his own. He's not so much hands-on, hovering over the actors as much as he is from a distance, letting the actors do things naturally. And I noticed that one character, I forget his name, but he was the one who was he worked on a farm. He ended up being a very sad character in the long run because he was pretty much threatened into telling things, and he ended up having to be executed. And while it was sad, it was really, anyway. Let me go back to what he was. He flubbed up a line. I'm a alarm faberer. I mean a farm laborer, and I think that was a real blooper. But Ken Loach loves being as natural as he can. The story revolves around Damien O'Donovan, played by Cillian Murphy. He wants to be a doctor, and he is about to go to London to attend medical school. But his timing, unfortunately, is so bad that it's just in the middle of these English soldiers that come in. I guess they call them the Black and Tans or something like that. And they come into his small town, which is in the area of Cork, Ireland. I'm not sure what town it is, but it's in Cork, County Cork, I believe they call it. And during him trying to even board the train to go to London, there was a big old, like, I don't know, some kind of you know, the these English police charged aboard and started beating on people, and it was just a bad time. And I couldn't help but wonder why Killian chose to go to England to do his medical training. Not Killian, but the character Damien. But Ireland must have been in such dire shape that there were no medical schools, even in Dublin or, you know, uh, any town. So I was just, yeah, he couldn't even board the train to go. And he witnessed so much cruelty and so much abuse during that siege, I guess that was the word I was looking for, of the train station, that he went directly back home to where his big brother, played by Padraig Delaney. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I know it's the Irish form of Patrick, but he's a great actor. He's been in a lot of movies that I love with Killian. Anyway, he is Damien's older brother. Um, Jeez, I forgot his name. Was it Timothy? Ted. Maybe it was Ted. Teddy. Teddy O'Donovan. Um, Basically, Damien gives up his dreams of being a doctor and joins the cause, the revolution, the uprising, the rebellion against this British Army shit. And just so many things happen. So much cruelty, so much. There's change, there's positive change, but also there's strife and fighting and bickering between the Irish themselves. Some Irish are, screwing disadvantaged people out of money, and during the fighting and the war, there's an act of, I guess you could call it treason, on the part of the farm laborer boy. And Killian's character has to do something so heartbreaking that it just rips your guts out. So, this is a movie I would recommend very highly for Killian fans and for fans of Irish history, English and Irish, and Ken Loach is British, English, whatever, and he lovingly directed this movie. It has no happy ending. It's just like the movie that I reviewed at the beginning of this, which is Raise the Red Lantern. As a matter of fact, all three of the movies that I've reviewed today are pretty much downers at the end, so I'm just gonna put spoilers, but it's really sad for Damien because I think he gets married to one of the very strong female characters. There are at least a couple of very strong females in this movie. Sinead is this girl who, this young lady who helps them. She supplies them with guns, with pretty much intelligence. And I don't know who she's working with, but it's just really, I really loved her. I'll figure out who played her. There's this heart-wrenching scene where her home is burnt to the ground. Her mother wants to live in the chicken coop, and Sinead just falls apart. And Damien is such. You can kind of see the beauty in the romantic part of it. You can see how lovely he is when he supports her. Sinead is a strong, strong woman because she endures some really horrible stuff. She gets held down and beaten and has her head forcibly shaved. Sinead and Damien work so well as a team, and they later fall in love. And actually, I think they may have gotten married. They don't really show a wedding scene, but they just the way he's after this horrible scene where she gets beaten and messed up by those British guards that burned down her house and her mother's house. He holds her up when she needs to be held up, and after what happens with the farm laborer who committed an act of treason basically against their army, after Killian has to do that horrible thing that he doesn't want to do but he has to do because it is war. War is hell. There is no such thing as freedom. After he has to go through that, he confides in Sinead that he feels like he's dead inside sometimes. Anyway, I still to this day give it 10 out of 10 stars for every aspect of it, from the period detail to the scenery. It's so pastoral. It's such a green place, green and beautiful. It's well researched, I think. I am sure that a lot of it drove the British crazy, or the English audiences crazy when it came out to theaters. But I just think it's a beautiful film. Cillian Murphy's performance is just, the word that always comes to mind is luminous. A beautiful, just a beautiful emotional, but not overly emotional, just enough to help you to realize how real these people were, and how high the stakes were, and how things went wrong after they win one battle only to have another battle come up, and it kills the relationship between Damien and Teddy. That is just, it's heartbreaking. So these 3 reviews that I've done today are not exactly what I would call my best work, but maybe they're shorter and to the point more, so maybe they are my best work, I don't know. But anyway, 10 out of 10 stars. It's a beautiful film, a very significant film. I think Cillian Murphy should have won an Oscar.